Okay, so back into the questions. And the first question for this section is, what's your favorite movie of all time? And I think I'm going to have to say I don't really know. That's a tough one, actually, because I mean, I'm a great fan of movies in general. I like to watch movies. And obviously, most movies on the market are American, so I watch a lot of American movies. Yeah, action movies are probably my favorite because when I watch a movie, I don't want to have to think too much. That being said, it's okay if the story actually works, and that's a big plus. Which means that movies like Highlander 2, you can just go get the director and every single actor that participated and go out and shoot them. Except, of course, for the fact that Sean Connery is in that movie, and I wouldn't want that to happen. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Batman Begins, any Indiana Jones movie, particularly the first one, obviously, and well, anything like that, really. Anything that works. Yeah. Next question. Next question. What games have you worked on? That's well, I've already kind of answered that. But let me just stress again: the casual games and the target audience is like children aged 6 to 12, or the alternative target audience is like housewives who basically go at home all day and just play a game like for 10 minutes to relax in between doing the dishes or whatever. So yeah, if you've actually played any of my games, I doubt that you would want to tell me. Um, the other question here is, if I'm wrong about that, then who would win in a fight between a dog and a monkey? Um, Well, that depends on the circumstances, really, because obviously, if there's a lot of trees around, then the monkey would obviously win because it could completely run in circles around the dog, and then the dog would just bloody well not have any way of reaching the monkey because dogs can't climb trees, basically. On open ground, it would be a different story, but it all also depends on what breed of dog and what particular species of monkey we're talking about. Obviously, a lemur can't do too much damage, but uh, well, whatever. It's that question's too open. You're gonna have to be a little more specific than that for me to answer that. Next one. If you had a one-way ticket through time and space and language wasn't a problem, where and when would you go, and if I may, why? Since it's a one-way ticket, I'm not going to say into the future. Otherwise, if it was a return ticket, I would go into the future just to see where we end up and if we actually manage to destroy ourselves or not. And a one-way ticket. I don't think I'd actually ever use that because I'm quite happy with living where and when I live. I don't think there's any time or place where I would have it better. Um, so otherwise, if I had to use it, I would probably say the Stone Age, and then I could teach some Stone Age people to make gunpowder, and that would make me a really badass character. So yeah, pardon me, just lighting up here. Um, Next one. Are you going to continue with debunking Harun Yahya? Yeah, that's a definite yes, because I've already recorded and edited the sound for the next episode, and all I need to do really is to put images on that and upload it, and then we're ready to go. So, but that won't be until I've finished answering all you guys' questions. So it'll probably take a while yet. Next question. Do you paint your Warhammer models before you field them, or do you paint them at your own leisure? Or, well, both, actually, because I usually try to paint up my models before I field them to some reasonable standard, but really no more than what I have to, because I paint the models only for the purpose of being able to play with them and having them look cool when I do. Um, so I'm really more of a gamer than a painter. So yeah, but usually I prefer fielding painted models because the other thing looks like shit. Yeah, next question. How did you lose your virginity? First thing that came to mind, intelligence is sexy. Thank you, I guess. Um, Late. is the short answer to that question. Basically, I was a geek all through high school and too insecure to get any, as it were. But once I lost my glasses and got contacts instead, that really helped. Mostly, I think, because it helped with my self-esteem, which was a problem at the time. Um, so some girl actually picked me out. I barely noticed her, but she thought I would be a good catch, and so she caught me. And well, that was that. I lost my virginity. End of story, more or less. Next, what game developing company do you work for? Is your face horribly scarred? Two questions again, I see. But yeah, um, the first one, I'm not going to answer that, and I already said I'm not going to answer that. The second part of that question, is your face horribly scarred? No, it's not. The reason that I don't give out information that could tell you exactly who I am is basically because I promised my girlfriend I wouldn't. Um, I think she's a little worried about the death threats, and I can understand that. I think that's fair. I mean, I have some responsibility to her as well as to myself. If I was alone, then I would probably have shown you my face by now, just because of the peer pressure to actually do so. Yeah, I'm a wimp. So what? But no, I'm not going to tell you my name or where I work or anything of the kind. And I'm not going to show you my face. And the reason being that I would prefer not to see my girlfriend get hit by a Molotov cocktail aimed at me, if you know what I'm saying. There are a lot of people who would like to see me dead, and I'm just gonna have to learn to live with that, and that I'm cool with that. I mean, people want to see me dead. That's nothing new. The new thing is that they have a reason for doing so, other than the fact that I look geeky and act weird. Mm. So yeah, that answers that, I pretty much think. Next one. You've mentioned having nightmares of hurting a cat on accident one time. I'm curious about that. What happened? Well, what happened was that basically I was very young, like I said, and I was going through a door at the same time as my stepdad was going through a door, and I don't remember why I had to go through the door in such a bloody hurry. But basically, I pushed him, he pushed me, and he accidentally stepped on a cat, and of course, I blamed myself very much, and the cat in question broke its hind leg and had to be put down a few years later because it wasn't walking well and wasn't healthy generally, and that really sucked. So yeah, pretty much that. Next question. Have you ever found it hard to continue being open about your atheism through family, social pressures, etc.? And if so, when was the hardest time? Well, yes, not so much socially, because actually I haven't been hanging around Christians much the last several years, and Christians are, or at least fundamentalist Christians are, a tiny minority in this country. But within my family, I've definitely had trouble with it. You should have seen the look on my mom's face when I told her if I had kids that I would probably not have them baptized. But I think the hardest time was telling my little sister that I no longer believed that there was a God, and because she's a fundamentalist Christian, I've always been very close to her, and I still am. Obviously, she didn't think that was much of a problem, but that was the hardest time for me, having to tell her that. So yeah, I think I have time for one more. What would you say or ask if you ever met the Pope or similar? Someone like the Dalai Lama doesn't count here. Um, well, what would I say or ask of the Pope? Let's go with the Pope, Ratzinger, or Benedict the 16th or whatever. What would I tell him? I'd tell him he was a fucking asshole. That if you have total power over like 500 million people, then you should use it for something better than to encourage the spreading of AIDS in the third world. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That would be my first point. Anyway, I don't know if this is going to be the only video I do of this today, but yeah, I'll see you later anyway. Peace.